Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time of engaging my content, I will enjoin you to hurriedly subscribe and click the notification bell just to get videos whenever we upload new videos. Now I want to discuss something very important about understanding mathematics. Sorry to say, today is a therapy session and not the board section. We are not learning anything on the board. Now, for every class or math class you come into, there's a level of preparedness or preparation that is expected of a student. So what is preparation? Preparation is simply getting ready for an event or an activity. Meaning preparation is another set of activity that helps you or that serves as a prerequisite to a particular event. So having understand what preparation means, what we are trying to say in essence is that a teacher comes in prepared, having read, gathered facts, ready to dispense knowledge. A student who comes into the class must also be prepared. What is the preparation on the side of the student? One, the student ought to have a calm mind and also must have had adequate rest, probably from sleep. So now imagine a scenario where as a teacher I come to the class and the student slept late at night, probably 1 a.m., probably watching movie or playing video games. Now there is something that happens to the brain when you don't have adequate rest. So when a student comes in that state, probably the student is even going to wake late in the morning. So the student is hurrying to catch up with school that morning. So all of this constitutes an unrest within the mind. So when I begin to teach mathematics on the board, it makes it difficult for the child to understand. Why is it difficult? Now, the lack of sleep or rest causes what we call cognitive impairment. So this cognitive impairment stops the brain from understanding at the level or pace at which it ought to. So the students cannot flow with the pace of the teacher. Now, we have cognitive impairment. Under cognitive impairment, we have something called impaired attention. So the child cannot pay attention. Why? The mind is not relaxed. Why is it not relaxed? Because the child hadn't adequate rest. So the mind begins to wander, probably on the activity engaged last night or the last time. So because of that, there is no attention from the part of the child. Not because the child don't want to pay attention, because there is a distortion in the child's cognitive ability to actually follow what the teacher is saying. 2, we call that memory lapses. So these memory lapses also serve as a cognitive impairment that stops the child from recalling the prerequisite or what leads to the particular thing you are doing at the moment. That is, the child cannot recall the cognitive flow of a particular concept. So if the child is at a sport, the child tends to want to understand from that standpoint and not from a previous standpoint, and which is common in math. So it makes math difficult for that child. The third one is called slow reaction time. So even if the child managed to follow, the child will be slow in understanding and also slow in decision making, slow in everything they do, not just learning now. So it's very important for the child to have adequate rest. Now there is something called brain malfunction. Now under brain malfunction, there is something called reduced cognitive flexibility. That cognitive that reduced cognitive flexibility per se is how easy or how dynamic the mind of the child can move with the pace of the knowledge that is being communicated. So once it is not there, it makes it difficult for the child to follow. Finally, we have impaired decision making. So now, believe you me, so to say, when you're teaching a child, the teacher rather makes a particular concept known to the pupil or the student. It is the student's ability to take a decision to either agree with what was taught or to disagree. So that window of decision making is explored by this restlessness that has been caused by lack of rest or sleep. So it makes the child not knowing what to understand or not knowing what to believe from what he or she was taught. So it's very important. So finally, I leave you with this word. I want to add, in a long term, this is going to cause a disorder. There are many disorders, but there is one I want to hold on to, which is called the mood disorder. So once the child's mood is disordered or distorted, it's going to be difficult for that child to ever flow with math. So you can see that maths is rather 70% preparation or alertness compared to the so-called IQ, intelligent quotient. So you don't need a high intelligent quotient to understand maths. Rather, you need a prepared mind and a relaxed mind to understand maths. Thank you.